Hallelujah, Lord. Hallelujah, Lord. Thank you, A.P. Rosa. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
To the congregation. I want to say thank you to everybody online.
Thank you.
We just want to give God the praise. Amen. Take a second and give God the glory. No matter where you are. Hallelujah, because he alone is worthy to be praised. Hallelujah, Lord Jesus. Well, if you don't mind, let's get right into the word. Amen. Amen. We got a little business to take care of right after church. So we're going to get right into it. Amen. And one thing that really, really excited me when I came in and heard Shonda's testimony. I mean, I was able to compose myself this time. Amen. 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 Because she's right in the word. I mean, she just gave the part one of the word. Amen. She said that prophets of God are going to be tried, persecuted, killed even. You understand? But there's a greater reward to it than all of that. And what God gave me for you all this morning was to talk just about that. Amen. Prophets. Amen. Amen. And what their purpose is in your life. Amen. Amen. What is the purpose of a prophet in your life? Well, let's look at the word. Let's go to 2 Kings, and we'll start over in the 6th chapter of 2 Kings. Now, the book of 2 Kings is mostly about Elisha. That's Elijah's protege. That's the one that Elijah passed the mantle to before God took him up to heaven. He didn't die, he didn't have a funeral, didn't have nothing. God just brought him on home. And he passed that mantle to Elisha, his servant, and Elisha did twice as many miracles.
All right now.
Elisha was the comparison and contrast of these two great men. You know, Elijah was the one that called fire down from heaven to burn up the sacrifice. Elijah was the one that had 450 prophets of Baal, the devil, killed. He was the prophet of fire and destruction, representation of the Old Testament. But then when Elisha came along and the mantle was passed to Elisha, that's representation of our new covenant. Grace and mercies. Amen. But each prophet had its part in getting us to where we are today. Amen. So what we have here in the 2 Kings, the 6th chapter, is that Elisha is now the main prophet that God is using. He has a school of prophets. And there was so many prophets that the school was too small, so they said, we have to build another place because we've outgrown this one. Amen? Amen. So they proceeded to work. And in the meantime, whenever, see, this is what's amazing. Boy, reading the Bible, it is so wonderful. It tells you exactly what's going on right now. Whenever you decide to build, whenever you decide to take your life to the next level, you're going to immediately have opposition. Soon as they determine to build, soon as they start cutting wood, soon as they start building, then war came. Syria comes to attack the children of God. That's what happens. As long as you ain't doing nothing, ain't nothing happening. They will say, I ain't got to worry about them. They ain't doing nothing. But the moment you decide to build, the moment you decide to take your life to the next level, here's what happens. So Assyria attacks, gets ready to attack. They want to attack. So they set up ambushes for the children of Israel. If the children of Israel are going down this way, they got a trap set for them. So as soon as they come, we're going to ambush them and destroy the children of God. But what they failed to realize, that the children of Israel had a prophet. So every ambushment that the Syrians set up for God's children, the children got away. You see, that didn't happen just once, twice. It happened a whole bunch of times. And the king of Syria said, somebody in our camp is a spy. They're a traitor. How come every time we set up an ambushment, they get away? They don't even come that way. They change their route. They said, nobody in our camp is a traitor. Israel has a prophet of God. Israel has a man of God that tells the king everything you say in your bedchamber. While you laying your head on your pillow talking to your queen about how you're going to destroy God's people. The prophet hears that and tells the king. So you know the story. The Syrians said, let's get this prophet and kill him. So they sent the troops. You all know the story. They went in and surrounded where Elisha and his servant was. You know, we talked about, this is where we left off last time. And the servant gets up, goes outside the cave, sees the army of Syria. Got the whole place surrounded, the whole army. Remember, that's like saying the whole Marine Corps came to surround your house. You know, and here's the beautiful part. See, the servant couldn't see. But the man of God prayed for the servant's eyes. He said, Lord, anoint his eyes. Amen. That he may see. Amen. Anointing his eyes. And guess what he saw? You all know what he saw. The whole army of Syria was surrounded by chariots of fire.
Amen. Thank you, Father God.
So, what they did was the prophet of God asked God, blind this army. Blind them. They blind. They couldn't see. So he took this army. Elisha tells the army that's blind now, here, follow me, I'll lead you out of this mess. So he takes him to Samaria. Walks him right into the city of Samaria blind. Then the prophet said, now Lord, open their eyes that they may see. Amen. When the Syrians opened their eyes, they were in the heart of Samaria. They were in the heart of Samaria. Wasn't that something? That may not mean nothing to you, but that's like, that's like, well, what could I say that's like? Somebody help me out here that knows the Bible. That's like taking Ku Klux Klan and sitting him in the heart of Oakland in the Black Panther party meeting. Or you know, vice versa. Taking the blood, taking him to a Crip neighborhood, just drop him off in there. Vice versa. That was the worst thing could happen to them. The king of Syria said, let's kill them all. Can we kill them all? The prophet said, no, don't kill them. Feed them. Give them some food, give them some water so they can get on. You wouldn't kill your captives that you captured by the sword. So why you want to kill these? So you know the story, they let them go. They let them go. Now here's one king wanting to kill Elisha for helping the children of Israel. Now, when they let the Syrians go back home, they didn't mess with the children of God anymore.
Huh.
They didn't mess with them no more, because they understood they have a prophet, and we need to leave them alone.
Right.
But we're going to go and kill somebody. Oh, yeah, because see, back then, it was taking kingdoms. See, the Syrians, all they did was what was supposed to be done. I want your kingdom. I want territory. That's what they did. So now they got to go get somebody. So what did they do? They besieged Samaria. And now the king of Samaria want to kill Elijah.
Amen.
Because we had them. You told us to let them go. No, the Lord said let them go.
All right now.
You see, I just do what the Lord said. And sometimes you're not going to understand that. You understand? But God said let them go. So what happened? Now the king of Samaria wants to kill Elijah. So he sends men to go get him, to kill him. You see, and you know what the glory about this is? See, the Old Testament is an example.
Amen.
See, Corinthians tells us that the Old Testament is in the Bible because it's an example of how we're supposed to live. See, they did all theirs physically. They killed physically, but ours is in the spirit realm.
All right now.
But the examples show us what happens when you start to do something for God.
All right.
Like Oshanda said, we gonna be fought. You understand what she said? Ain't no punks up in there.
All right there.
This is not for weak suckers. So you gotta have a little something called backbone in you
Amen.
to walk this walk.
Amen.
You see, and that's why God allows us to go through what we go through, because every time we go through something, we just get stronger and better and wiser.
Thank you, Father God.
You see, that's why he don't put stuff on it, but he allows us because he knows that all things work together for good to them that love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. So whatever you're going through in life is working for your good right now. Whatever you're feeling right now is working for your good right now, sure as I speak. You hear me? Because see, what happened here is that now that another people want to kill him, the prophet, for helping. All he was doing was helping. But they didn't want to kill him now. You see. Because the prophet is without honor except in his own house, except in his own, with his own relatives, in his own country. See, so it's a price to pay. But the long run, man, the end result, let me tell you about the end result, it is so good. It is so good, the end result. Because see what happens, see what a prophet has to go through, he got to go through some things for the people.
All right now.
See, Elijah was in the wilderness. He was a hairy man. He was rugged and all that. He did all this. Elisha lived in the castle. He had a good government job. You understand? He wasn't out there like that. So he let go of his comforts to be a blessing to nations. To nations. And see, here's what happened. Look at the first chapter of 2 Kings 7. That was all of 6 I just gave you. Chapter 6, I just gave you a rundown to chapter 6. Now, these people have come to Elisha's house. Elijah didn't have a home. They're at his house now. And the messenger said, the army is coming. We're going to kill you. He said, we're going to kill you for the day is over. The prophet's response. Chapter 7, verse 1. Here was his response.
Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, tomorrow about this time shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, in the gate of Samaria.
Now, here's what the man is saying. Tomorrow, about this time, you will be able to buy the best foods, the best of everything for a little or nothing. Because see, when they surrounded Samaria, when the Syrians surrounded Samaria, they surrounded them so they would go into a great famine. Couldn't no food come in and out. So once all the food in the city was gone, they couldn't eat. They couldn't eat. So they said, we'll starve them out. We ain't got to run up in there because, you know, they had wall cities and things. And running up in there, you lose a lot of people. Say, we ain't losing nobody. We going to starve them out. And either they going to stay in there and starve to death, or they going to come out and we'll kill them, take their city. I'm going to leave that alone. That's a whole nother message about surrounding certain areas. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone, man. We'll be late for our meeting. If I go there, we don't pass over that for right now. But that was their plan, to surround the city, starve them out. And do you know how bad it got? They ate up all the food. They ate up all the horses and cows and things they had. And then they were starving so bad that a jackass's head, if you wanted to eat a jackass's head, it would cost you 80 pieces of silver. A little bit of dove's dung. You know what dung is, right? That's boo-boo. Yeah. And I'm glad somebody's honest, because half of them didn't know. Somebody saved them. A third of a calf, about that much in a cup. 6 pieces of silver. Because they used it for fuel and fertilizer and all that kind of stuff. I'm glad I would stay in the country something. Boy, I tell you, we had chicken coop where chickens come in at night to keep all the stuff from eating them. So they put them up. And what they did, they dumped. The whole floor was covered with dung. So we got ready to plant some watermelons once. I'm from LA. I don't know nothing about all this. Grandmother tells me to go in the chicken coop, you know, and scoop up all the boo-boo and bring it and use it as fertilizer. Yeah, that's what they did. That would cost a little bit of that. That's how bad it got. You know it even got worse than that. Guess what they ate next? Their children. Oh yeah, read the rest of the chapter. I'm just reading this chapter to you. They ate each other's children. One woman said, hey girl, look here. Let's eat your baby today, and then we'll eat mine tomorrow. They boiled the baby and ate it. Read your Bible, I'm not making this up. They boiled the baby and ate it. Then when it came time for the other woman, she hid her child. Yeah, that's how bad it got.
Amen.
It was bad. You see. But here's what happened. They coming to kill him because they figured he caused all this. You know how you blame the preacher for everything going wrong in me, right? You know how y'all do it. And you know people blame you when you're trying to help somebody. And they don't do what you tell them to do, and then stuff fall apart. They mad at you. Yeah, they mad at you. That's just how it goes. You know, it's like raising children. You try to raise your children right, they're going to be mad at you. And we ain't supposed to be friends.
Amen.
You understand? I don't care about you being mad.
Amen.
You're supposed to be, as a matter of fact.
Amen.
Preach,
Come
Pastor.
on, Pastor.
Huh?
Preach.
Yeah, Pastor.
So they coming to get him. And his response is, tomorrow about this time, you'll be able to buy whatever you need with little or nothing. And the last time I preached this over in on Division, when we were on Division, the young man had just got out the pen. Last time I preached this. He just got out the pen, fresh out. Came to church, heard the word. Then Rosa brought him to my office after service. I'm sitting in my office. She brought him in and said he wanted to speak with me. I hadn't met him before, didn't know nothing about him. And I said, what can I do for you? And he said, I need a job. Fresh out, I need a job. I said, did you hear the word? He said, yeah. I said, you believe God? He said, yes. I said, well, tomorrow about this time, you'll have a job.
Amen.
That part right there.
Amen.
Amen.
No, Rosa tell you. He got up Monday morning, went to the mall, and got a job.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Fresh out. See, he said like Ashonda just said, I believe.
Amen.
Amen.
I'm going to choose, that's what she said, I'm going to choose to believe him.
Right.
You see, the Bible declares, 2 Chronicles 20:20, believe in the Lord thy God and you will be established.
Okay.
But believe his prophet and you will prosper.
Amen.
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 Thank you, Jesus.
He went and got a job that next day. I was talking to another one of my members. They was talking about how they aching and body falling apart. I said, yeah, I understand. Because mine been going through that. But I was praying for you the other day. No, I said I was praying for you yesterday. And the Lord told me to tell you to do X, Y, and Z. Gave me specifics to tell them what to do.
Amen.
And then they smiled at me. That's what smiled about. They said my doctor told me that same exact thing.
Right?
I said, when did the doctor tell you that? Yesterday.
Amen.
Same time the Lord told me. You understand?
Amen.
Amen. Yes, thank you, Jesus.
You see, that's the way prophets work. We just hear from the Lord. We tell them what the Lord said. So here's the prophet said, tomorrow about this time, this is what's going to happen. So the people that came to kill him and capture him, the king heard it, but his assistant said, man, you must be tripping. If God opened up the windows of heaven, ain't nothing like that can happen. That's what some of y'all think.
Right?
Oh, Lord.
Don't you?
Oh, Lord. They was like, ooh, that's a shame. No, Negro, you thought the same thing. Huh?
Amen.
Thought the exact same thing.
Yes.
That's what he said. He said, hey, if God opened the windows of heaven, that can't happen. Guess what the man in the earth said? Oh, it's going to happen.
No.
You going to see it. And you going to see it happen. But you won't eat of it.
Amen.
You won't eat of it. See, so all you dedicated saints of the Most High God, when you see people half-stepping and don't believe, don't trip, don't get upset. Because you will see it,
Amen.
Amen.
but they won't.
Amen.
They'll see it, but they won't taste of it.
Amen.
They'll hear about it, but they won't partake of any of it.
Amen. Yes, thank you, Lord.
See, so to wrap this story up, they went on about their business. Because the king felt that. His lieutenant didn't. So here's what happened. The people of Samaria, locked in their city, The army of Syria has them surrounded. They eating well.
Okay.
Oh, they living well. They see, to starve a city out, you got to be there a long time. So they brought all this stuff. I mean, you know, in today's time, they probably pulled up in big RVs and things, and buses and truckloads, and set up camp all around. They had all kind of resources. All kind of resources. The people inside the city didn't have it. They eating each other's babies. Eating jackasses' heads. Ain't no meat on that. So there's these lepers. You know what lepers are, right?
Yeah.
People with disease. They lepers. They can't come into the city unless they announce it. So they couldn't come through because it was sealed off. They said, if we stay out here, we're going to die.
Amen.
We can't go into the city. They starving to death. They'll probably die before we do. So he said, why sit we here and die? Why don't we at least go to the Syrians' camp? They're going to do one or two things. They're going to feed us and make us slaves, or either they're going to kill us. If we stay here, we're going to die. But if we go there, we got a 50-50 chance.
Amen. All right now.
But see, let me tell you what God will do. Let me tell you what God will do. See, God sets these things up for you.
Amen.
He set these things up for you.
Thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God.
So you can see his power. So you can see his might. He'll let it get all the way down. He'll let it go all the way down. So when he brings, he'll have you eating your own babies. But when he brings you up, see, oh yeah, the prophet don't go through it. But see, he can go through it because he know he's not going through it for himself. Amen. He's going through it for a whole nation. You see. And these weren't even children of Israel. He was going through it for them. You see. So here's these lepers. They say, why sit we here and die? They said, let's get up and see what's going to happen. Let's just get up and see what's going to happen. Now, you know, lepers can't walk hard. Did you know that? No, they had that was a flesh-eating disease. You know, if they threw a ball, the fingers might go with it. Yeah, parts of them just fell off their bodies. They couldn't walk hard. They couldn't stomp. They couldn't run. The skin's falling off of them. They turned white, powdery. You see? But here it is, these lepers get up and start walking. They walk to the Syrians' camp. Now how cold God is. God makes the Syrians hear a noise like 2 or 3 armies. They hear these lepers coming, and God makes it sound like the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, and all the mites. The noise is so bad that these Syrians jump up out of bed, grab what they can, and break, leaving everything behind. They get up and break, they leaving everything. Clothes, they can't run fast enough, so they start throwing off clothes. They hearing horses and chariots and armies. That's what they hearing. They ran off and abandoned everything. Now the lepers, they come barely walking in, waiting to get either killed or fed. Barely walking in. They go into one tent. Ain't nobody there, but it's gold, silver, raiment, wine, everything. They go into another tent. It's gold, silver, raiment, everything. They grubbing, they ain't eating I don't know how long. They eating, and then they say, let's take some of this stuff and hide it. Oh boy, these lepers, huh? Ain't nothing falling off now. Huh? They grabbing gold, they grabbing silver, they grabbing clothing, and they hiding it. They go back to some more. They eat again. They grab gold, they grab silver, they grab clothing, food, stash that. They come back again. They said, oh Lord, we about to curse ourselves. Here we are, getting all this and won't tell nobody. Here we are. They starving out there. They in that city eating each other's babies. We full. It's running over. And we ain't telling nobody. The lepers repented and went to the city to tell the king what had happened. They was busy all night. Oh yeah, they worked all night. By the time they got there, it was about day now. Told the king sent spies to make sure it wasn't an ambush, because it wasn't. Spies on their way back saw all the clothes and gold and stuff speared all over the place. From them running. They spies came back, told them, no, it's true. It's ours for the taking. The lieutenant who said, ain't no way that could happen.
Right.
The one that said that was in charge of the gate of the city. So when they told the people it was true what's out there, the people ran so to get their stuff. They ran over him, trotted him down, and killed him dead. He saw it, but he did not eat thereof. Amen. So don't worry about people that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're going to see it, but they're not going to eat thereof. Amen. So keep doing what you're doing, Power Love. Don't give up. Don't get weary in well-doing, because in due season you shall reap if you faint not.
All right now.
But see, God got to allow circumstances and situations to happen for you. So when he blesses you, it blows everybody's mind. See, we don't serve a little small poop butt God. We serve a big God that when he bless you, oh, everybody gonna know you blessed of God. It ain't about nothing else, that God had to do this. He's the only one that could have done something like this. Make 4 lepers sound like 4 armies in your behalf. Some of y'all might be going through court situations right now. God can make the judge, the jury, the prosecutor, and everybody hear things that just blow their minds on your behalf. You may be in the middle of buying property right now that look like it's not going to happen. All of a sudden, the people will buy your house that you're losing and won't even know why they did it. Tell me, I know what I'm talking about. That's exactly what happened for us. See, everything y'all going through, we've been through. About to lose a house, trying to buy another house before we lost that one, and it went on our records, you know, so we trying to buy anything. Got down to the 29th day of default before it went into foreclosure. Tomorrow, it would have gone into foreclosure. The real estate company that was trying to help us buy a house out here before we lost that one called us the last day and told us we've decided to buy the house. I don't know what they heard. The house was about 40,000 upside down. I don't know what they heard. When we bought Cameron over here, we invited them to the housewarming party because they told us we couldn't buy no house. But they bought ours. And then told us we could stop calling because you can't buy no house. The other house went in default. You ain't passed probation on your job.
Yes, Lord. Come on, Pastor.
We called them, invited them to the housewarming party. They said, to this day, we still don't know why we brought that up. Yeah. See, you can't tell me what God won't do. You understand? You see, I've tried him and I know him. You understand? See, I've done been through some things and
Yes, Lord. Amen.
and I know how good he is.
Yes, Lord.
You see?
Amen.
So all I came to tell you today, all you prophets of God, that God speak through, think it not strange when you attack. Think it not strange when you're going through something. Because God is orchestrating everything in your life. And it's for you to come out smelling like the Lord. See, Jesus has been around since the beginning. In the beginning was the Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. When the children of Israel wandered around in the wilderness for 40 years, Jesus was right there with them. In the form of a rock that followed them. Then he went on to say, and you build your foundation on the rock. See, that rock was capitalized.
Amen. Yes, Lord.
Jesus has been there from the beginning. When angels come and talk to you, that's the Spirit of Jesus. And that it tells us that
Yes, Lord.
Jesus didn't come along when Mary got with Joseph. She hadn't even got with him.
Yes, Lord. Amen. Yes, Pastor. Come on.
Huh? You see? So thinking not strange, man, when you're going through something. You're going through it to get to it.
Yes,
You're
Lord.
going through it to get to where God needs you to be. And your life will be a testimony to everybody that knows you, everybody that saw you going through, everybody that talked about you like a dog. You'll be able to tell them how you like me now. Yeah, thinking not strange, baby. They'll see it, but they will not believe. And we want to bring everybody along. See, that's our desire, is to bring everybody along. Amen? Amen. Read those 2 chapters. It'll blow your mind. Amen. So let's keep building. Let's keep moving. Let's keep letting God get the glory out of our lives. And let's keep putting one foot in front of another. Amen. And watch where God takes us. Amen. Amen. I love you all. God bless you. God bless you. Let's give him some praise in the house. Let's give him glory.